Good morning, students. Now our next method for the measurement of the larger distance is the parallax method. So before learning the parallax method, you should know the meaning of the parallax. So this I will illustrate you through an example. What you have to do, you have to keep a pen in front of you and you will observe this pen through your left eye by closing your right eye. Again, what you will do, you will observe this pen by opening your right eye, means you will observe this pen by closing your left eye. Okay, and you will observe this pen through your right eye. So what you will observe when you are looking this pen through your left eye and again you are observing this pen through your right eye, you will observe certain shift in the position of an object. This is said to be a parallax. Okay. L is your left eye and R is your right eye. What you have done, you are observing an object. Okay, you are observing an object which is kept at O. So if you are observing that object with your left eye and after that you are observing that object with your right eye, you will observe certain change in the position of an object, and such apparent change in the position of an object with respect to the background, it is said to be a parallax. Okay. So the distance between the 2 points of observation is said to be basis, and this angle is said to be theta, or it is called as the parallatic angle. What it is called as? Parallatic angle. Okay. So where this method is used? It method is used to calculate the distances of the nearby star from the earth, or it is used to calculate the distance of the planet from the earth. So let us see how this method is employed to calculate the distances of the nearby star or the planets. So let us consider this to be the orbit of the earth around the sun. This is our sun, and A and B are the two positions in the opposite diameter of this orbit. Let N be the nearby star which is located close to the earth, and F is the far away star which is very far away from the earth. Okay. Let this, so what we will do here, first we will drop a perpendicular from A towards the sun. And what is N here? N is the nearby star which is located close to the earth, and F is the far away star whose position will keep on changing as the earth is moving in the orbit. As the earth is changing its position, so this far away star will also keep on changing its position with respect to the earth. So the light which is coming from the nearby star reaches the earth. Okay. And the star which is located far away, the light is also coming from that star and reaches the earth. Okay. So this angle is determined using an astronomical telescope. Let this angle be theta 1. If this be theta 1, what could be this angle? This angle is also theta 1. So here this observation that theta 1 was measured, let us suppose to be the 22 December. Again after 6 months, when the earth has moving in the orbit and reached the point B, let it be 22 June. Again after 6 months from here, the position of the nearby object is determined. Now the earth has shifted its position from point A to point B, and how much time it has taken? 6 months. Okay. So again the light coming from the nearby star reaches the point B, and this far away star has also shifted its position, and again the light coming from the far away star reaches the point B. Okay. Again, let this angle be theta 2. This is again measured with the help of an astronomical telescope. This be theta 2. This is also theta 2. Okay. Let us draw some constructions. And this be as with the sun. We know that angle is equal to how much? Arc upon radius. So angle is how much? Theta 1 plus theta 2. Arc is AB and radius is how much? AN. So AN is equal to AB upon theta 1 plus theta 2. How we can determine this AB? So AB can be right, it is twice of AS, this distance. Okay, and this comes out to be 1 AU. AU means the astronomical unit. Astronomical unit is the average distance between center of the sun to the center of the earth, and 1 astronomical unit is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter, which comes out to be 3 into 10 to the power 11 meter. So this AB is known, and theta 1 plus theta 2, this is also known from the astronomical telescope. So we can calculate the distance of the nearby star. This method has one limitation also. This method is generally employed when the distance is 100 light years. Now again you will ask, sir, what is light year? Light year is actually a unit of distance. It is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. So when the distance is less than 100 light years, this method will be applicable. So what will happen if this distance is more than 100 light years? When the distance is increased, see here, if the distance is increased, suppose if the distance is increased, so what will happen? This angle will also decrease. Okay, so if the angle is decreased, so it is very difficult to determine these angles. So the inaccuracy in measurement increases. So that is why when the distance is more than 100 light years, this method is not applicable, and we are using one new method that is said to be spectroscopic method. So before starting spectroscopic method, I will explain you that how this concept is used. Suppose a bulb which is located nearby to Earth, then it will have more brightness, more intensity, and the bulb which is located far away from us will be having lesser intensity or lesser brightness. The same concept we will use here also. So the star which is located far away, means it has the intensity I, so its intensity effect is observed on the photographic plate. So I1 is the far away star, and R1 is the distance of that star from the Earth, and I2 is the nearby star, and R2 is its distance from the Earth. We know that intensity is inversely proportional to the square of distance. Intensity is inversely proportional to square of distance. See, if your distance is more, अगर distance ज़्यादा है तो brightness कम है. Okay, in this way intensity is related with the square of distance. So can we write I1 upon I2 is equal to R2 square upon R1 square? So the star which is located nearby, so its intensity and distance is known. So can we calculate the distance of the faraway star, and I1 is the intensity which is observed on the photographic plate. So from that R1 is calculated. So R1 square is equal to R2 square into I2 upon I1. So this I2 and R2, that is known because the stars are located nearby. It's the star which is located nearby, its intensity is observed on the photographic plate and that can be determined. And as it is nearer, so its distance is also calculated. But the star which is far away, its intensity is determined on the photographic plate and its distance R1 is calculated from this point. Okay, so this method is generally used when the distances are greater than 100 light years. Okay, thank you.